Hello and welcome. You're watching Mirror now. I'm Rihatul Siddiqui. On to the big story that we are tracking at this hour, very important one at that, as a parliamentary panel has flagged concerns over shortage of staff at 6 AIIMS in the country. The panel, in its report, named AIIMS Bhopal, Bhubaneshwar, Jodhpur, Patna, Raipur and Rishikesh, and also stated that none of these have satisfactory number of faculty and staff. The panel advised the Health Ministry to prepare a roadmap and provide necessary infrastructure, faculty and paramedical staff to all the 22 AIIMS functioning and scheduled to be operationalized in the next 3 years. Now, the panel also asked the ministry to ensure that the MBBS students' education does not suffer in the absence of inadequate infrastructure, as some AIIMS are running classes from temporary campuses. The committee also expressed concerns over AIIMS-Delhi, as the scarcity of staff in these AIIMS has affected the functioning of the former and overburdened its patients. Now, to discuss more about this, I'm joined on the broadcast by Dr. MC Mishra, the former director of AIIMS. Dr. Mishra, thank you so much for joining me on Mirror Now. Short-staffed AIIMS, this is a very, very concerning thing that has been flagged by a parliamentary panel. We're not just talking about Delhi, we're talking about many others here.
That's right. This has been the case when we have planned so many new institutions. What we have to analyze the reasons for the deficiencies or shortage. What many a times happens, because 50% faculty positions are earmarked for SC, ST and OBC, and 50% are unreserved. So many a times, as to find ST candidates or faculty positions, they go unfilled, because we cannot fill them by unreserved candidates available for the position. The same thing happens for OBC, the same thing happens for SC candidate. So the government has to evolve a mechanism where, if after 3 attempts at filling up these positions, or 2 attempts, whatever can be decided, the positions can be filled by available candidates across categories. I think that is something will have to be done, because in the particular specialty or super specialty, many a times we do not get the appropriately categorized person for recruitment. So I think recruitment rules have to be changed. The roster system has to be changed. And in the beginning, there may be a shortage, but in long run, I think if the government comes up with this kind of a policy, because to get is post declared unreserved is a very Herculean task. One has to go to SC Commission, ST Commission, and it doesn't happen. So when we are talking of these shortages, we have to do the sub-analysis, which category positions, which specialty position, which super specialty positions are vacant. And then we also have to see the basic departments like the basic sciences, anatomy, physiology, pathology, microbiology, pharmacology, forensic medicine. There are seats, postgraduate seats going vacant in these institutions. For PGs, do not opt for it, while clinical disciplines, they tend to get filled up quickly. So people have to be incentivized for filling up these positions. And the same thing will have to be done with the other staff also, technical, particularly of technical background. If we don't get the particular specific category person, this after certain mechanism, after 2 times.
Very important point over there. Let me actually take this across to Dr. Anil Goyal, Secretary, Indian Medical Association, who's also joining me on the broadcast. Dr. Goyal, thank you so much for being with us on Mirror Now. Very important discussion that we are having, and very important point that has been raised by Dr. Mishra also. But let me actually shift our focus to the MBBS students. This report also flagged concerns, saying that many of the students are having to go through their classes in makeshift campuses. So that is also something that needs to be brought to fore here.
Yeah, as you have very rightly pointed out, the main issue now is that we need to have the quality MBBS student and their training. As you have very rightly pointed out, that the construction work in AIIMS Bhopal and some of the other AIIMS is in that they are running their campuses in the temporary infrastructure structures. So that's a thing which even Parliamentary Standing Committee on Health has said that the government has to look into it in a very situation which is very emergency situation, so that the students do not suffer. And not only the faculty, as Dr. Mishra was saying, I am also pointing out that around 30 to 50% of non-faculty posts are also vacant in 6 all India institutes of the country. So that aspect also has to be looked after. So 3 aspects: one is faculty, second is non-faculty staff, 30 to 50% both faculty as well as non-faculty staff, and third is infrastructure which is running in makeshift campuses. So Parliamentary Standing Committee on Health has already said and has looked into it that the government has to take rigorous measures, immediate measures, urgent remedial measures to look into these issues and sort out these issues. Whatever are the issues, whether there is SC/ST issue, but I don't understand why there is no faculty, non-faculty staff, why there is a shortage of non-faculty, why there is still makeshift campuses or the temporary campuses. So this is beyond comprehension that these all India institutes running for 5 to 6 years, even Parliamentary Standing Committee has to say that they are running in makeshift campuses. Something has to be done urgently so that...
So, Dr. Mishra, would you like to take that? Because a very important aspect here, again, raised by Dr. Goyal, he is talking about non-faculty staff also. Those vacancies are also not really being filled. You've been a AIIMS director. There has been an extension that has also been granted to Mr. Deepak Guleria by 3 months. So that has also happened. What do you have to say about that?
Basically, as Dr. Goyal was mentioning, we cannot figure out why non-faculty positions are lying vacant. That should not happen because there will be, I am sure, plenty of aspirants to take up the non-faculty positions. The only thing, what the recruitment drive has to be fast, and many a times the reservation rosters do hamper recruitment at all levels, at all non-faculty, faculty, every level. So I think something has to be done urgently to address that. Now, as far as infrastructure and construction of buildings are concerned, the 6 AIIMS are more or less complete. There's Raipur, Bhopal, Patna, Rishikesh, Jodhpur, Bhubaneshwar. But the other new AIIMS are under various phases of construction. For example, Nagpur, the BB Nagar, Telangana AIIMS, or the Vijayawada AIIMS, or Madurai, or Jammu, or Deoghar, Raebareli, and other new AIIMS, or the Kalyani in West Bengal. So it does take time for the institution to come up. If you recollect the AIIMS-Delhi, when it started in 1956, there were not very many departments at that time. There were only 10 departments, broad departments were there: anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, then pathology, microbiology, the forensic medicine, community medicine, and then medicine, surgery, broad disciplines, and obs-gynae and eye, ophthalmology. Then subsequently more specialties have been added. So the initial strength, sanctioned strength of AIIMS-Delhi was 80 faculty members. But then now it is 800. So with over a period of time, the faculty posts do expand. In the beginning, until 1983, there was no reservation at AIIMS for any faculty positions at any level. In 1983, the SC/ST reservation was introduced. Then in 1992, the OBC reservation was introduced. So that does hamper faculty recruitment and quality of faculty in these AIIMS institutions.
Okay. Right. Dr. Mishra and Dr. Goyal, thank you so much for being a part of this discussion. Let's hope something is really done about this, because we are talking about a severe faculty crunch in various AIIMS across the country. And the doctors will, of course, be impacted once they are overworked because they are doing full shifts. And in turn, the patients will have to suffer because of the overworked staff that we'd have at these AIIMS facilities in the country.